Hey everybody, welcome back and welcome to another guitar lesson. In that previous example, I'm not sure if you noticed or not, but I played the same phrase, the same notes, using the same pattern in 7 different locations along the guitar fretboard. It's time to simplify your scales. Traditionally, we are taught scales like this, from the low E string to the high E string. This seems like a lot of information to me. What is a scale? A scale is nothing more than a set of notes, starting on the root, the red dot, then moving through the intervals until it reaches its octave, which is the same note as the root. And you notice that in the traditional way of learning scales, that once we hit the octave, the pattern changes, the fingering changes, but it's the same set of notes. But what if instead of the traditional way of learning scales, we visualize a scale like this? Not so intimidating, is it? So by taking our scale from root to octave, it allows us to really dial in our focus on what we're doing. The pattern is easy to remember, and more importantly, it's repeatable. So what you play in one location, you can play in another location without having to learn new ways to play it. You can use the simpler scale pattern to master your fretboard. One way you can use this is to memorize the notes all over the neck of the guitar. So what I recommend doing for at least 1 week is to start on a note, let's say G in this case, take it up to G, and then play that same pattern everywhere you can find a G on the neck of your guitar. G. So now you know that's a G there, right? So now you just follow the pattern up. Remember, when you hit that B string, slide up a fret. G. Find your next G. 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 And you do that for all the G's that you can find on your fretboard. You do that for a week, and then the next week you're going to repeat that for the next letter in the alphabet, which, go to A and do the same thing. Another awesome use case for this simpler scale pattern is to learn your intervals. So you can take that pattern and count them up. And so you can follow those intervals and see how they interact with your root note. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, octave, G. And so then you'll be able to start internalizing those intervals and see how they interact with the root. You can go 1, 5, 1, 4, 1, 3, 1, 2. And you can really get those under your belt. And then the third use case for the simpler scale method is to combine it with other scales. This video is going to be part 1 of a 7-part series. So right now we're in G major studying, but in the next video, we're going to move on to the A Dorian scale pattern and then combine that with our major scale. What makes a mode is the chords that you're soloing over, not the actual scale itself. They're all part of one diatonic scale. So A Dorian is really just the notes of the G major scale played over an A minor chord. I hope that makes sense. It'll make sense in the following videos even more. So for this week, I would take that simpler scale pattern, start on your root note G if you want to follow along with this series, walk it up to G, repeat that same scale pattern. Do that for a week until you have all the G notes memorized on your fretboard. In the next video, we're going to tackle the A Dorian mode. That's the next scale pattern. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to break it down into smaller segments and then combine it with that first position in the G major scale. All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed that lesson. Hope to see you in the next video. Please like, subscribe, and share this video if you found it helpful. And be sure to check us out over there at 440club.com. We have an awesome little chord finder tool on there that's really helpful for learning music theory. And we have a great online radio station with some really great independent artists. All right, I'll see you guys in the next video.